When I read the Christmas story this year, I tried to look at it from a different viewpoint than just an observer. There's so many characters in this story. A few I would like to focus on today are Joseph, Mary, the innkeeper, the shepherds, and the wise men. So it got me to thinking about each of them. Who would I be most like? Or who would I like to be most like? Joseph had doubts when the angels first came to him. In fact, he secretly made his own plans to take care of the problem at a later date by divorcing Mary. That's in Matthew 1:19. But do you sometimes say things that sound good and please the people around you, but then plan to go your own way when you leave them? Thank goodness the story plot changed in the very next verse when the angel visited him and he believed. He did what the Lord commanded him. Matthew 1:24. I love that line. He did what the Lord commanded him. No matter the cost. I want to be like Joseph. Mary was visited by the angel and told that she would give birth to a son called Jesus. Now she did question the angel, how could it be since she was a virgin? But in Luke 1:28, she says, I am the Lord's servant. Again, she did what the Lord asked. I want to be like Mary. I feel bad for the innkeeper. I fear I am like him at times. I have no room for Jesus. I have no time for his work, but I can squeeze a little room for him time in my schedule. But is that the full devotion that he deserves? I wonder if the innkeeper would like a do-over. I like to think that his life changed after that first Christmas. Maybe he became a believer. He started sharing the good news with everyone that came to his inn. And from that point forward, he just could not share enough of Christ. Sometimes I am like the innkeeper, but I want to be like the innkeeper after the birth. You know, the one in my imagination. I want to do my part to share the story. The shepherds were doing their work on the quiet hillside that night when Luke 2:9, an angel of the Lord appeared before them. They were terrified, it says. Yet, when the angels left them, they looked at one another and in verse 15 said, let us go over to Bethlehem and see this thing that has happened. They decided right then and there, that's the part of the story I love, is they dropped what they were doing and they rushed off to see the baby. They didn't have to think about it. They didn't have to discuss it. They didn't have to make travel plans or anything. They rushed to see the Christ child. Then they left, glorifying and praising God for what they had seen. I want to be like the shepherds. By the world's standards, the three kings had it all. Yet, as wise men, they traveled. They left their kingdoms to come and worship Christ, the newborn king. In Matthew 2:11, it says, they saw the child with his mother, Mary, and they bowed down and worshiped him. Then they opened their treasures and presented him with gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. What gifts! They gave their time, their travels, which I'm sure wasn't easy. They bowed and they worshiped him. Plus, they gave him gifts from their treasures. I want to be like the wise men. I want to give Jesus my all. This season, who do you want to be like? Who are you like? God gives us so many opportunities to be a servant of him. Every day there are opportunities available for us. He wants us to have the desire to rush to his side so that we can be near him. He is just waiting for us to get there, just like he was in that manger so many years ago. I am praying that this year you decide to drop what you're doing, to rush to the child, to be a servant, just to be with Christ. Kent and I wish you Christmas blessings this season.